So welcome to this video, and in this video I'm going to be looking at the Avtex Tourer 3. I've been given this for the purposes of review, and my opinions are going to be my own. I'm going to give you the pluses and minuses of the sat-nav and let you know what we think of it. So this is the sat-nav in its normal position, mounted on the windscreen, and it's mounted on the windscreen for a very good reason. It's got a built-in dash cam on it, and the dash cam needs to be able to see where it's going. So before we get on to how we got on with the Avtex Tourer 3 Plus, I'm going to tell you how much it costs. It's based on the Garmin Cam 795, which is currently £495 at Halfords. It's currently £499.99, this unit, for non-members, and £449.99 for members if you go onto the Caravan and Motorhome Club shop. And compared to the Cam 795, this comes preloaded with the Caravan and Motorhome Club site directories and European sites as well. If you look on Amazon, you'll see it listed as the Avtex Tourer 3 Club Edition, and it's on Amazon at £489 on Amazon. Now the links will be in the description below, so please do check them out, and this video will have a series of chapters, so you can jump to the bit that you're interested in, or you can re-watch parts of the video, and I'll put the chapters up here. Okay, so here's a little bit of the unboxing, and we'll have a look what was in the box. Obviously you've got the leads and the mounts. Thing to point out, and I think I've already pointed it out, is it's windscreen only mounting, and that is for the Plus version. If you don't want windscreen mounting and you need it to be mounted on the dashboard, you need the standard version. You don't need the Plus version. You will lose the dash cam. It's got SD card slots. It's got two SD card slots at the back. It's got a USB-C lead. It comes with a USB-C lead and a 12-volt adapter. And it's good to see USB-C leads on there. The previous one had the silly old mini USB leads. It comes with a 16GB SD card as well, which is used for the map data. Hey Garmin, navigate to the Walton Fox, Preston.
Going to Walton Fox on Craven Drive in Bamber Bridge, Lancashire.
Go. So it's 40 minutes, 20 miles. We're using the A565 and the A59. Complicated junction this is.
At the roundabout, take the second exit to A582.
Seconds round the other side. Wouldn't normally go that way, to be honest, but I suppose there's motor
Just over there.
Yeah, I know, but it's taking us round onto the A6 and then off the A6.
All right, okay.
Take exit 1 on the left to M6, then enter the roundabout. At the roundabout, take the first exit to A6.
It's a different way to approach it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It saves you waiting at the traffic lights.
In half a mile, turn left onto Craven Drive, then enter the roundabout.
So it's brought us in from the other direction.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, roads.
At the roundabout, take the third exit to Craven Drive.
Yeah, I don't know why you just bring us up there and turn right.
No, I don't.
If you didn't fancy us doing a right turn there.
Well, there's nothing wrong. You can turn right there. Or can't you?
Yeah, you can, because there's a car.
Yeah, I know, there is a car trying to turn right. It just...
I know the other one was funny, you know, about doing difficult turns.
Yeah, maybe
send
that's
you
it.
up to a roundabout
Yeah.
rather than.
Yeah.
Go.
So you get the little bird's eye view map.
Yes.
Give you an idea where you're going.
Turn right onto the road.
It's
Not there,
Not
no.
here. No, because it should be looking at that, shouldn't it?
Yeah. It's here where it says the Walton Fox.
Yeah.
Arriving at Walton Fox on the left.
Nice big car
A
parking.
reasonable sized car park here. So. We'll be taking up 2 spaces, but hey ho. Okay, the sat-nav has successfully got us to the Walton Summit, where we're here for a Christmas lunch with Glyn and Sharon. But there are other ways of navigating, and one way is actually using your mobile phone. Now this is the Garmin Drive app. It's a very simple app. And it looks like that. And we want to go to Moffat Camping and Caravanning Club, send to device, and that goes ahead and calculates the route. We're ready to navigate.
Yes, you should come up with it.
There we are. So it takes us 2
Please
hours.
drive to highlighted route.
Oh, because we're near the M6.
Because we're near the M6, yeah.
Yep.
So that is really useful. Just a quick way of getting somewhere if you've got a phone and you find perhaps it on Google Maps, or you could just search for it. It just uses Google Maps, I think. Yeah, so you can just put in, I don't know, Grapham Water Centre and send to device.
He wants to know if you want to start a new route, though.
Yeah, so we'll start a new route.
Going to Grapham Water Centre.
Yeah, it's very easy, isn't it? That's
Please
good.
drive to highlighted route.
Okay.
Going to take a bit longer, though.
A bit
3
longer.
hours, 14
All right,
minutes.
okay. You cancel it by pressing on the cross. So the next way is actually just entering a club site. So do you want to do that? Where to? So you go to where to and campsites.
It's further. No, you don't go to
Yeah.
campsites.
Okay,
That's the problem. You go.
UK club sites.
If you go to campsites, then that gives you a search to put in a name of a campsite,
Okay.
which you obviously could.
Yeah.
But if you want to use just the UK club
So
sites,
this is the Caravan and Motorhome
Club.
directory.
Yeah. So it obviously then quickly looks for the ones that are near you.
Yeah.
Or if, say, we're going to, should we say, New England Bay?
Yeah.
So I might just put, I just put in the wrong thing. New England Bay. So all I've had to put in there is just NE.
Yeah.
And it searches in its own database and comes up with New England Bay.
And then you
It's
hit
come
go.
up with that very quickly, and then it comes up go. She calculates.
So it's a few minutes to calculate.
It's quite a
Please
way, isn't
drive
it?
to highlighted route.
That is quite quick, though.
It is very quick.
It would take 4 hours to get there.
Yeah.
202 miles.
Okay.
Okay. So, like you say, if you don't want that particular route now, you just go like that.
That's it.
So that bit, where to, campsites will give you like ASCII and
Everything.
all that, on everything, won't it?
Yeah.
You want it specifically for one of the search things. You've got ASCII, you've got Camper Connect, you've got the certified locations. There's over 2,000 of those,
Yeah.
and you've got European club sites.
Yeah.
So if you want a European club site,
Yeah.
go into European sites
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
What was one we went to as Klein Strand?
Klein
wasn't it?
Strand, yeah.
So if I go KL, Klein Strand,
Comes
there's
up.
the other one we went to, Klutzy.
Yeah. And these are the ones
Strand.
that you've booked through the Caravan Motorhome Club.
Yeah, they're ones that you book through there.
Yeah.
Which I must say is quite easy to do.
Yeah.
Please drive to highlighted route.
Okay, so she's now going to say continue to road, and she's going to say we need a ferry
Or shuttle.
or shuttle to get there.
Yeah.
And it would take us 7.5 hours from here,
Okay.
and we're going to arrive at 11 minutes past 8
Yeah.
in the evening.
That's it.
We've got to enter 2 countries. So that I thought that was very quick. I
Yeah.
think it's a lot quicker
Then the older one.
than the older one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's quite a complex route, that,
Now you
Yeah.
can add enter coordinates as well.
which we've sort of struggled with a bit, haven't we?
Well, but it's a bit long-winded, I think, isn't
Mm.
it? But do you want me to get some coordinates? Let's put this down and I'll get some coordinates. Right, so suppose we want to go to Todd's Motorhome. It's nearby anyway. I can find it on Google Maps, and if I tap on my screen on Google Maps, it gives me the coordinates there. Now if I tell Jenny those coordinates, we can then enter them in the sat nav.
So where do I go for that then?
So where to, and where it goes search. I think
Yeah.
you've actually got a setting
I thought there was coordinates there.
for coordinates. There is
Yeah.
actually a setting for it.
So it tells me what my coordinates are at the moment.
Yeah, yeah.
It's got an automatic search format.
Yeah.
So where do I go? Do I
So
just
tap on there,
tap on there?
and then you can enter the coordinates.
Right.
So 53.72 6590 go. And that's the coordinates, so if you press that,
But go.
go, yeah.
Yeah.
New route, so new route.
Start new route.
Going to coordinates.
And that's actually coordinates for MC Fabrications, would you believe, which is right next door.
Door to them. Yeah.
Please drive to highlighted
Yeah.
route.
Just that was a lot easier. We did have trouble in Belgium with that
Yeah.
when we were looking for that place that we couldn't find.
Yeah.
We had trouble because the old one, you had to tell it the format of them, didn't you?
Yeah.
Didn't do it automatically, so that is a big improvement.
Okay. So cancel that. Okay, so the next one is using points of interest.
So we've got custom ones, haven't
Yeah.
we, in there?
We've imported some custom points of interest. We got some of them from the Camping and Caravanning Club a couple of years ago. They've stopped doing them now. We've also got some from Example English Heritage.
Yeah. So should I do English Heritage?
Okay, and these are the ones we've imported via English Heritage, and they are various places. So if you take, I don't know, any of those.
That was really quick because I just
Yeah.
went in there and it's come up with
Yeah.
places that are near here. So let's go to Sawley Abbey.
Obviously you could put in search as well. we'll
Yes,
search
yes. So
whatever
we're
you've
searching
got
for
in.
something else, but
Yeah,
Please drive to highlighted route.
it's probably the sort of thing for English Heritage National Trust that you would be doing when you're looking for somewhere nearby, like
Yeah,
that. So
that's
that came up almost
straight away.
straight away. So that would take us 36 minutes. It's 22 miles
That's it.
away.
That's it. Okay.
So well, like we say, we have got the camping and caravanning club, and you spent a lot of time on this because what they were telling us was the whole address, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You figured out how to
I edited these.
edited them to, and that's
Yeah.
come up straight away. Then our nearest one to here is Clitheroe,
Yeah.
Delamere Forest.
Yeah. But you
and
could
so
search
on.
for Moffat, for example.
You could search for Moffat, yeah.
Yeah.
Search M O. They are
And there it
Moffat.
is.
Come up with MO.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And go.
go. And start a new route.
Going to Moffat Camping and Caravanning Club site.
Yeah,
Nice.
so you've got to say in
Please
that as
drive
well.
to highlighted route.
Yeah,
How simple is
okay,
that?
that's very simple, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Sorry, go on.
yeah. One thing to mention is people always say to us when we've, say go to camping and caravanning club site and it tells us the route,
Yeah.
is it always what's on the site arrival thing?
The
which you can
recommended
get,
directions.
recommended one that you can get direct from the club website or from the book.
No.
Well, no, it isn't, because obviously it's looking for coordinates or whatever. The one we've found is Ashwell, isn't it?
Yeah.
It will try and take you through the village.
Yeah. I mean, the trouble with the somewhere like Ashwell is you've got a village and there's a lot of parked cars in the village. You can drive a motorhome through the village, and there's no problem doing that
No.
because the road is wide enough. But it's not wide enough if there's a load of parked cars on the road. So if you ever look on the club website, it says avoid going through the village.
Yeah.
So the
yeah.
answer really is no sat-nav can know that there's a load of parked cars on a road.
And you shouldn't go through the village because the road is wide enough,
That's
isn't
right.
it, basically?
That's right. So it
Yeah.
really is the same for any sat-nav, is always use your common sense and perhaps have a little look to see where you're going before you get there.
Yeah. And the other interesting thing we've had recently is Castle Howard, wasn't it? And that arch.
Yeah.
The reason we were okay was because we've got in here it's in there, is it settings or?
Yeah.
Got in here our profiles.
So this is really important because we've set up different profiles for different configurations. At the top you can see car,
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
and it doesn't obey any motorhome caravan profile restrictions in car mode. So if you're in car mode, it's not going to worry about how wide you are,
No.
or how long you are,
Please drive to highlighted route.
or how heavy you are. If you go back to vehicle profile and you go motorhome, we've fed in the directions there that were 8 metres long, 2.5 metres wide and 3 metres high. It's not exact, but we don't want to be going through any arches that are more than 2.5 metres wide, or going under any bridges that are less than 3
You're at 3
3
metres
metres high.
tall, yeah. So we've
Yeah.
sort of rounded it up and we put
Yeah.
8 metres as our length.
Yeah. And if you press the spanner icon, that's where you enter it. And you notice I've also got a thing called environmental zones.
Yeah.
Can you press that? And what that does is you feed in what emission badges you've got. We've got badges in France and Germany, what fuel type you are, when you were registered, and what Euro standards you've got.
Yeah.
And it will know whether it needs to avoid any environmental zones. So it stop you getting a fine.
Don't know we've got the badge for France, and
Yeah.
for Germany.
Yeah, it actually asks you what colour. I couldn't remember what colour it was for the German one. It's the green one.
It's a green, yeah, and yellow for France.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, the only other one I had to do
Yeah.
was Antwerp, wasn't it? I had
was in
to
Belgium.
register.
Yeah, that was just a
us.
case of registering though.
Yeah.
Okay. come
Right,
out of there?
let's come out of there.
Yeah, so that's where you enter your emission standards and your weight and thing, and it will do the routing depending on what the roads are in that location. Go back a bit. So it should take into account your length, your width, your height, and yeah, and you've also feed in there its gross weight, and if you've got any maximum speed restrictions as well, which
All
we
right,
have
yeah.
if we're towing as well.
Yeah, so we would put in 56 for towing,
50
50 for towing.
50 on single carriageway roads, 60
Yeah,
on dual carriageway, and
motorways.
60 on motorways if we're
Motorways.
towing. And
Yes.
it will always tell you if you're exceeding that speed limit. Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So really important that is. So come out of there.
And then we've got the Motorhome 2, which is when we've got the
We've
car
got a
on the
trailer.
back.
When we've got a
We're
trailer.
saying you
It-
can't say it's a car, you have to say it's a trailer.
You can say
which
it's a
it is.
caravan. If you look at the thing there, you can say what the trailer, there we are, trailer width, trailer length and gross trailer weight. And all in there, you'll notice you've also got the dry weight, the gross weight, the overall weight. So you're feeding quite a lot of information into that so that it knows that you've got a 1-ton trailer on the back.
We were actually on that setting. We're on Motorhome 2
Yeah.
because we've recently had the car,
Yeah.
and that might be why she
Why
didn't
it
want
took
us
us all the way
turning.
round down
She
that
didn't want us
tight turn.
turning there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we should really just be, at the moment, should just be on
Just
that
be on that one.
profile.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
And she might have let us turn there.
That's right. So really important.
We're still on car here.
All right, but change it.
No.
That's what I did.
So
Select.
select.
That's it. Okay. Agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's just quickly talk about the features of this unit. It's got a 6.95-inch display.
And it's got built-in Wi-Fi for updates via Garmin Express or Wi-Fi.
Okay, it's got routing and speed limits based on the dimensions and the weight of the motorhome, and you enter the dimensions.
Yeah, it's got different profiles, so we've got motorhome, motorhome and car.
It's got travel and driver alerts, so there's lots of binging and bonging going for things like road blockages and elevation and speed cameras, and speed cameras are no subscription service.
Yep. It's got the Caravan and Motorhome Club directory of all their UK club sites, all their CLs, and what we found useful was the European club sites. Never let us down with that, did it?
No.
No. And the other things, it's got like new trendy places, local spots, and scenic routes.
routing. Scenic
Yeah.
routing. Now, if you see the little wiggly line on the screen while you're going along, that takes you the scenic route. Okay.
Yeah. But allowing for the fact that you've got to be wide,
wide enough to get down
narrow
there, yeah.
enough, and
That's right.
etc.
And it's the sort of places that you might want to be checking out. It's got new environmental zone routing. I think we covered that in our little demonstration there. But that is quite important these days, particularly when more and more cities are going for environmental restrictions. If you've got something that's perhaps Euro 5,
Yes.
and you haven't got the stickers, you might want to be alerted and routed away from those zones, and that is really important.
Because I think with the previous one, we nearly ended up in one, didn't we? We were okay.
Yeah,
But this would have warned us and kept us out of it, wouldn't it,
That's
hopefully?
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bird's eye satellite imagery.
Yeah.
That's the picture, isn't it? When you arrive in somewhere, I mean, when we were arriving at Ferry Meadows, it showed a picture of the campsite on the right-hand side, didn't it?
So a lot of in past times, people have always said, well, why don't you use Google Maps when you're getting close to the site, so you can have a look where things are. Well, that's the idea of that, is it will give you a more close-in view of where the actual entrance is.
Yeah, so I mean, sometimes I used to find with one of the old sat-navs, she was confused between left and right, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
Summers Wood was a classic. We used to get that and she'd say it's on the right. Well, it wasn't on the left, it was on the left.
No, that's
But
right.
when you got this picture, you could clearly see it's
Yeah.
on the left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next on our list.
Next on our list is the voice command.
OK, Garmin, navigate to Ferry Meadows.
Going to Ferry Meadows on Ham Lane in Orton Brimballs, Cambridgeshire. Please drive to highlighted route.
So it's given us a route. So I now can say things like, OK, Garmin, what time will we arrive?
You should arrive at 14:44.
I think that's rather nice.
Yeah.
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 Okay. The Plus version includes the dash cam, and that's on the back here, and that's the dash cam there, and that's why you can't have it mounted on a dashboard, because the dash cam needs to be able to see, and that's normally how you have it mounted, normally has to see the out of the windscreen. You can't have it that way up because it doesn't also turn over, it doesn't change it, and I've just put it that way round so I can see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The dash cam gives you facilities for saving your files. There's a button there you can press, and it looks like a little floppy disk icon. You press that and it saves the file, and that's useful if there's been an incident and you want to record that footage. It's got collision avoidance. It'll give you a warning if the car or the vehicle in front has got too close.
Yeah. Yeah. We've had that, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will give you lane departure warnings.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's depends on how good the lanes are, doesn't it?
Well, I think sometimes when they haven't got much paint on them or something,
No.
it's a bit not so good.
And with the Garmin Drive app, you've got the facility for reviewing footage. Okay.
Yeah, it's hands-free use of your phone, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also you get email notifications come up and things like that, or messages. I
Yeah.
normally monitor that, and
Yeah.
because they take up a bit of the screen, and then I close them when I've read them.
Yeah, you can obviously switch that off if it's a pain as well.
Yeah,
And you've also got the facility to add a rear view camera.
yeah. We've already got one, so we
Yeah.
wouldn't be doing that, would we?
Yeah, so that's the features. The other thing to mention is you can import what are called GPX files, which are route files. And if you've got some planning software, it is possible to import routes into here. And we're actually doing that for our Denmark trip. Jenny's doing the
Yeah,
route.
you can sort of split it down into parts, like day 1 or day 2, and then you can save the route for that as a GPX. And then if someone else has got another sat nav, I suppose it
Yeah,
possibly work
you
on.
could send it to them. So
Send it to them,
so
yeah.
we could send
where
it to Trev and Sue.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So
yeah.
what are the drawbacks of this unit?
Well, you've got to, because this one's got the dash cam, you've got to mount that on the windscreen.
Yeah, I've actually got it upside down. Normally it would be like that, so that you would have the dash cam here and this attached to the windscreen.
Yeah, so we've got it sort of slightly to the left, haven't we?
Yeah.
Because you couldn't put it directly in the middle.
No.
So, and obviously if you've got the version without the dash cam, that's not a problem, is it? Because you can put it on like that Garmin suction thing we had
Yeah,
before.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, I think, but if you had an A-class motorhome, that might be an issue, because the windscreen,
It's
when
over
we
there
borrowed that
somewhere.
Malibu, it's sort of over there
Yeah.
somewhere, and,
Yeah.
and that could be difficult if you want to use the dash cam.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't mount it. You can't mount it because there's no way you can actually mount it there. And I think Avtex themselves know about that. And if that's an issue, then go for the standard one. Go for the Avtex Tourer 3 without the Plus.
Yes, yeah.
I've said one of the biggest disappointments for us was that we can't change the voice recognition trigger word.
We can't call it a different name apart from Garmin.
So we can't
can
say,
we?
"Hey, Mrs. Satnag"
No,
anymore.
no, which is a real disappointment. Yeah,
because there's no facility, as far as I can tell, on there to actually allow you to change the name of how it recognises the wake-up call, as it were.
Yeah, but sometimes, I mean, I just have to say, Mrs. Satnag sent us the wrong way, and she burst
Pops up.
into life.
Yeah,
so
yeah. So,
maybe I wouldn't be saying Garmin so much, would I?
no. Hey, Garmin. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, that was a disappointment. Other drawback, I think, is because it's not integrated into the vehicle, it doesn't interrupt whatever you're listening to on your media unit. And sometimes, because the volume's not hugely loud, you could miss directions.
Yeah. I mean, in our situation, I'm monitoring it most of the time anyway, because I'm either looking for a junction coming up, because when we were travelling with Sue, I was looking for the next one, telling her that's what ours says, and she was confirming or saying something else.
Yeah.
And also because I'm using the remote control to film, I do try and film most of the junctions, so I'm always looking on there to see, are we 2 miles away or whatever, so I can get my remote ready so that I can film. So in our situation, I suppose that doesn't impact so much, does it? But
No.
if you were on your own,
And you're listening to the radio.
you
or
listen to the
Greatest Hits
radio,
radio
you
or
might
whatever.
not be able to hear her very
Yeah.
well because she's not interrupting you.
No, but that's a problem. That's the other thing that happens is you get notifications. I'll just go
Yes.
okay to that. You get notifications and it's linked to your phone.
Yes, you shouldn't have your phone on.
No.
Your phone should be in aeroplane mode.
Yeah, well, I'm not driving at the moment, so
No, but it...
yeah. So the dash cam is only in 1080p, Which is okay. I mean, it looks reasonable when I've looked at the footage. I'll put some footage of it up here so you can judge for yourself. My only thought really is if you need to see the number plate of a vehicle that's caused a problem or has been involved in some incident or something, it's sometimes more difficult to see if it's only 1080p footage.
Yeah, but I think that's because 4K footage, as we've found, is 4 times bigger sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
For the files, and this poor little thing got to keep great big huge files.
Well, you've only got 16 gig SD card on there as well, so that would fill up in no time.
It would, yeah. So I can understand why they just do 1080p.
Yeah.
It just looks fine, the footage.
But again, it makes you question whether you need the dash cam footage. You see, that's that's the thing.
Because it's storing that as well.
Because it's having to store that as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So if dash cam footage quality is important to you, then again you might want to consider the other one.
Yeah.
The standard version. Best things about it.
Best things about it. Well, I like the display. It's very clear. That's what I liked about the original Mrs. Satnag.
Yeah.
That it's very clear. One thing, as I said earlier on, when we're with somebody else, and it tells me very clearly what the next junction is going to be, even if it's 196 kilometres away. So I'm sort of monitoring that, so I know when we've got to prepare to turn off or take some action. Yeah. So I
think
like
they call that
display.
real directions in their features list.
Yeah. The other thing I do like is the free traffic alerts.
Yeah.
Because she'll tell us there's a problem in 2.3 miles or something like that.
Yeah.
And she'll say whether we're on the fastest route or whether there's another route we could go on. That was significant when we were in Germany, wasn't it? Because we didn't take the other alternative route. Trev and Sue did, and they got the head of us in a 2.5 hour queue.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's very useful if you... and what we found is you can sort of see where you're progressing in this great long queue, and eventually if things clear ahead, that disappears from your screen.
Yeah.
So I do find that useful. I think we had an incident, didn't we, when we didn't use Mrs. Satnag.
Yeah.
And we used the built-in one that hasn't got traffic alerts, and we found then that because she hadn't got her on, we didn't know that the A1 had an horrendous queue because they're rebuilding a bridge.
Yeah.
So, I do find that part of her useful, helpful, clear.
I mean, the biggest thing I think is that the fact that this takes into account the dimensions of your vehicle as well. So it shouldn't take you down those routes that are marked with a width restriction or a low bridge or those sort of things, and that can save you a lot of expensive mistakes. Yeah,
I mean, but it's got the 3 profiles, hasn't it? I mean, in like the built-in one, we can only say we're so much long and whatever.
The built-in one, whilst we're on it, doesn't allow you to put a trailer on either.
No, so you would have to, if every time we took the car, we'd have to go in there and say, well, actually, we're not that long, we're this long.
No, or we'd have to put that on 14 metres long or something.
Every time, keep it on that. And we have found it's lost it as well, whereas she's never lost... with the previous Mrs. Satnag, and I assume this one will be the same, has never lost our 3 profiles, has she?
No. Okay. The other thing was that we think the screen is good and clear. We like that. It is a 7-inch screen. I would prefer it if it was slightly bigger, to be perfectly honest, but we also like the fact that you can leave it always on and it will give you warnings about things coming up, a tight bend or high gradient or low bridge or whatever, without it being on a particular route either.
No, that's right. Yeah. I mean, that day we should have just had her on. We didn't have to put a route in her, but
the sound is good and clear. I think the spoken instructions are slightly quicker than they were previously.
It's probably because it's got a better processor in it. She does seem very quick. I mean, I think we showed yesterday that when you're planning a route, it sort of almost comes straight up. Well, that wasn't the case before. You'd have to wait.
Yeah, so
it is
whether
nippy.
They've improved the processor on here.
I would imagine they probably have. It's like anything, isn't it? It gets quicker.
That's right. And like we said, it gives you good, timely directions.
Yes.
And thing I especially like are the lane maps. When you're driving down the motorway, it tells you what lane to be in. There's a particular bit on the M42 where
Yes,
you
and we're
get
going
like
to
6 lanes.
Summerswood, and
Yeah.
if every time we rely on her to say which lane we should be in.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause it,
Which is important if you've got a long vehicle, a heavy vehicle, and you need to know fairly early on where you need to be. You don't want to be cutting across lanes like some people seem to do. Conclusions. I'll ask myself first. Would I buy it? I've struggled with this because the built-in sat nav on the newer motorhomes is so much better than previous built-in sat navs. It is another make, and I won't mention it, but it is a good sat nav. It has some deficits that this has some more features, like being able to bring in GPX files, for instance, and updating the maps with Wi-Fi. That it would make me think, if I didn't have a built-in sat nav, I'd definitely go for that.
yeah, which we didn't have, did we? In all our previous vans, we never had a built-in one. This is the first van that we've had one.
That's right, and we were using the previous Tourer 2 in preference to the built-in one, or indeed Google Maps.
Yes. Yeah, well, I think, have you mentioned about Google Maps?
No, I haven't mentioned about Google Maps.
No, I mean, people say to us, just use Google Maps. I think fine, but the basic problem at the moment is Google Maps doesn't allow you to put your dimensions in at all, and also it relies on a mobile signal unless you pre-download the maps. And we had an experience when we were on the A68 when we were going from Melrose down to Durham, and it lost where we were, and because there weren't many landmarks up there because we were up on the moors. And I thought, I don't know where we are on here.
That's happened several times to Alison, our friend.
Yes, she's had her problems with hers, and not often has got a bit lost because she's lost her mobile signal, and she's lost where she is.
So this has the maps built into it. That's what you've got to remember. Whereas Google sometimes has to download a map if you've gone into an area where you've never downloaded the map before.
And the worst thing that really happened when we were relying on Google Maps was we arrived in France, we went to Dunkirk, and we thought that you got your Android Auto on, thought we got Google Maps, and I thought that's not changing. And it was because your roaming data hadn't gone over. The roaming data hadn't changed over, so I'd effectively got no data. So we got no Google Maps there, and then also because we found that we couldn't rely on it too much using mobile data because of this problem that you got, that you hadn't got any. Yeah, so I'm sure there'll be people commenting, why don't you just use Google Maps? And that's why. That's why I can't, you know, it's great as an addition. Yeah. When you want to search for where something is, when you want to find an address. Yeah. It's brilliant for that, and it's brilliant if you're in your own country and you're in an area with fantastic mobile signals. Yeah. Yeah. But like we say, it's got limitations. Yeah. Also, the other thing is really that the built-in one doesn't have the extra features I mentioned earlier, and plus it was absolute pain to update the maps on it. Yeah, you've done a video on that. I have got a video that you can watch a little bit later about updating the maps on here. So if you think it's a really good idea sticking to the built-in sat-nav, you can watch that, or you could get one of these. It's a bit of a challenge, isn't it? That's right. So if you haven't got a decent built-in sat-nav and you don't want to rely on Google Maps, definitely buy this. Yeah, no, I like it. I like the previous one, and I suppose it's often what you get used to, but no, I like it. Yeah. So I think that's it. Yeah, on that. On that bombshell. Well, I hope you found this useful, and if you did, give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. We have got some more useful videos coming up. Do check out the links in the description below, in the video description, and you'll find all the details in there. And if you look at the Avtex website as well, maybe it'll answer any questions we may have missed. Yep. Okay then. So we're not infallible. Aren't we? No. Oh, I thought we were. Okay. All right. Okay. On that note, I'm definitely going to say bye then.